Hello crafters and welcome to Spring into Sandown online craft show brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond, our mixed media, scrapbooking and papercraft community. My name's Tamara and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Spring into Sandown brings you demonstrations and interviews with our talented retailers and guest artists where you can watch from the comfort of your own lounge room. Details of guests' past and upcoming sessions can be found on our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au, where you can also see the online schedule for this weekend and you can get into contact with our retailers. While you're there, if you haven't already done it, make sure you sign up for our email newsletter so you can get all the up-to-date details of what's coming up. Plus you can get a weekly recap with links to all the videos. Now, whether you're watching us live or you're watching a replay on Facebook, YouTube, or from the P2PCrafts website, we're really flattered that you're here with us this afternoon. We hope you have an exciting time. If you have any questions, pop them into the comments field and we will try and get to answer them during the session, or we'll go back and answer them afterwards. So for a lovely crafty afternoon, I would like to introduce you to Spring into Sandown with Crazy Cats and Fiona. Hi Fiona, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you, Tamara?
Not too bad. Now, we were just talking about the weather in Wagga. We apparently sent our Melbourne weather up to Wagga, so we do apologise.
Yeah, it's a little bit blowy today, a bit cool.
Well, never mind. So for those of us who haven't heard about Crazy Cats before, tell us a bit about your system and service.
So we're a little mixed media store located in Wagga in New South Wales. Mainly I conduct some scrapbooking classes out of my little shed here, where you can see in the background some of our items that we have.
Oh, lots of good.
Yeah, well, we like to stock a lot of the Ranger stamps as well as mixed media stuff from Seth Apter, so the Aladdin ice, some sprays, Dina Wakley's products, and lots of mediums. Lots of mixed media stuff that you can use on all your projects like scrapbooking cards or your journals.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, when we get back to normal times, are you going to, is the shop open or the room open for visitors at any stage, or open by appointment perhaps?
By appointment, because I do, well, this is my second job, so I do have a shift working full-time job. So I'm always happy for people to come as long as we can pre-arrange it.
Okay, and so all your details, we'll put them on the link from our website so people will be able to contact you, and when we can travel, expect a visit.
Lovely. Yeah, that's great.
Now, what are you going to be showing us today?
So today I'm going to do 3 different types of mixed media tags, just using some different techniques and some of the products that we stock. One's with a bit of Seth Apter and Tim Holtz sprays and embossing folders and some goodness. Dina Wakley tag with some of her stamps and gloss sprays, and then a Diane Reevely inspired tag with her stamps and paints.
Wow, that sounds like a full schedule. So let's get going. I will grab the camera back so you can turn your camera around. Okay, this sounds like a really full schedule, so I hope everybody's ready to take it. It'll be really, really exciting. So how are we going there? Ah, yes. Beautiful. Take it away, Fiona.
Okay, so for our first tag, I thought what we're going to do is we're going to make this tag using, like I said, Seth Apter spray and Tim Holtz embossing folder. So to start with, what I've done, I've just created the background. I've got myself a number 8 size tag. These come in packs of 50 and a size 8 and a size 10.
Is that a decollage, Fiona?
Oh no, that's just me tearing the paper there.
No, on the tag, it looked like a decollage.
Oh no, it's just
straight.
The plain, plain straight tag. Probably a bit hard to see with the paper behind it.
Oh, my eyesight's playing up.
So with that, I've just used the IZink dye sprays in honey and coffee. I'd say they're probably my 2 favourite colours.
That's a lovely dark one.
I like that. And mix with the honey.
Oh, yes.
Get it nice and juicy. Always good tip, when you finish using the sprays, just remember to wipe your nozzle with your paper towel.
What happens if you don't?
Sometimes some of the sprays can clog, and then you get a little bit sad when they don't spray very well, or they spray in another direction that you don't want them to. Okay. So with that tag, if you would normally dry it, but I have already prepared another one. So we'd let that sit to dry.
Yes, that's the one thing I've learned about mixed media this weekend. It takes time to dry. So
It certainly does.
Here's one I prepared earlier, is the phrase.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da. And this would be how it looks when it dries. Sometimes if you have like a bit of the thicker covering, you can see that it's a bit more shiny, and that's fine. If you don't like that, just dab it off with your paper towel before it dries.
Okay.
So from there, I've got the 3D Typewriter embossing folder, and this is a fantastic folder. So we just pop our tag into the folder however you want it, and then from there we run it through our die cutting machine, which I didn't really have enough place on my desk to do that, so I have done that as well. And it comes out and you can see,
oh geez, that's deep,
how awesome the texture is. That's the back side of it.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you've got
so it's a beautiful folder. And you can, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera in the photo.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so I really love using these folders. They just have such a great embossing to them. So from there, I've got my distress oxide, and just we're going to highlight the letters. So I'm just wiping it over the top. Doesn't have to be too perfect.
Well,
I know there are people that like perfection, but I am not one of them.
It's one of those things. I think you have to practice that, because I'm hopeless at it. So.
The perfection or the mess? I'm good at the mess.
No. Wouldn't say I'm perfect.
I'm definitely not good. I'm not perfect. Now, excuse the noise. I'm just going to quickly give it a quick dry. Now, the oxide doesn't take too long to dry, to be fair, anyways. Now, from there, to add in this gold shimmery that I've got, also highlighting the letters, right. We've got the IZink ice. Now, this stuff is really awesome. Like, it's you can use it through your stencil, or you can just get your palette knife and wipe it on your project. And when you heat it up with your heat gun, it turns, like, it bubbles, which is really cool to watch.
Okay.
So I tend to bubble it a lot because I like that. But for this particular project, I'm just going to use your Mark 1 finger and just need a small amount. And it's a bit like the old rub and buff that you used to be able to get.
Yep.
And so you're just highlighting the letters.
And the letters, yeah.
Yeah, and just sort of rub it in as far as you want. If you want a bit more, a little less gold, just rub it in a bit further. If you want more, just add a little bit more, really.
And do you know how many colours that comes in?
I think it's about 26 colours. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Like, there's a few metallics, and then the rest are all greens and blues and pinks. And
okay, so I was going to start, I'd get the metallics, because like shiny is the way.
Yes. But then, like, because it's called ice, they do look a bit ice like when they dry, even the regular colors without the metallics.
Okay.
I think I did a demonstration last year on Picture to Page with that, so I'm sure you can always check back on their website.
Yes, we should.
And there will be plenty of it on there.
We have links to all the videos from our website, so if
there
anyone needs to remind themselves, if they missed it last year, they can go and have another look.
Exactly. So with that, we've just highlighted the letters a bit more, which I kind of like that effect. Gives it a bit of a grunge effect as well.
Yeah.
And then while that's drying, because I'm not trying to deafen everyone with the heat gun.
Oh, it was pretty quiet before, so.
Oh, that's good. With the gentleman on top, I've used some of the embossing glaze from, that's probably not the best colour to see, the Distress Embossing Glaze.
Ah, yes.
Now, it's really neat in that it's a bit transparent, so you can see through it. So you can see the pink here on the flowers. Now, basically, all I've done is I've got one of the paper dolls, as there's many to choose from. And I have started on this one already.
Oh, yeah.
But see, so this is the top part where the lady's not coloured.
Yep.
But I've coloured her skirt with the fossilised amber. And I've coloured the suitcase and her shoes with rusty hinge.
Very subtle. I hadn't noticed. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in order to do this, You can use any kind of embossing pens, or if you use the embossing dabber, you can even just unscrew it and use it with a paintbrush or anything. And it's quite simple to do. So we're just going to colour with our embossing pen the part that you want the embossing glaze to stick to. And doesn't have to be fantastic. You get the general gist.
So just enough to get all the powder to stick.
Yeah. So we do that. We put it on our scrap bit of paper. Obviously, this is one I've stamped off on a bit. And then put your embossing glaze over like you would your regular embossing powder. Take it off. Wipe it off the areas that you don't want it to be on. And then I would say carefully put it back in the container.
I usually have a piece of paper under the container.
Oh, under the container. Oh, that's a good idea.
Just because I'm a little bit fast and loose sometimes with the powders.
Oh, yeah, that's generally me. Make sure the lid is on. Always important.
Definitely.
Oh, yes. No, I don't want it on her face. Then just get your heat tool. And voila.
That changed colour even. Wow.
Coloured. Yeah, it's pretty neat, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It's glazy.
Well, this is true. And all the just embossing glaze come in the distress ink colours, so they all match. There's about, I want to say over 20 colours. I can't remember the exact amount. I should have checked that. But anyways, yeah, and they're just fabulous for doing this kind of thing, or you can use them on anything really, but to colour in things, it makes very light work of it.
Yeah, well, that just really makes it stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it just makes it a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So then just to assemble the rest of your tag, I just got some ephemera from the Halloween ideology line. I get my fancy glue stick.
Good old yoo-hoo.
Yeah, oh, this is the best. Like, seriously, I used to use the double-sided stick tape, and that just drives me crazy because it comes undone after a while, I found. And then, yeah, you just get your yoo-hoo and stick your ephemera on. And even though this is textured, it will stick.
Oh, okay, good.
So
yeah, you'd have a hard time getting the tape to stick down on something that deep, wouldn't you, that impression?
Yeah, definitely. Unless you use the red tape maybe, but
yeah,
even then sometimes that doesn't.
You'd be concerned.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's probably a little bit too much. Got a bit too excited with the glue stick there. Now, I saw earlier one of the ladies was having ideas for what to do with your tags, and she'd made some little tag bag things. And there we go. That's the finished product.
Gee, and how quick and effective is that?
Quick and easy. And I mean, if you wanted to put it on someone's present, you could always just cut out or just use a second blank card and stick it on the back. Or do your writing before you do the embossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
lovely.
Nice and easy tag. And like I said, you can use this and you could make a whole card front with this.
Yes.
Instead of tag, and using the same techniques. It's quite easy. So
yeah.
But like
beautiful.
That is that. So that is that one.
Oh, effective, and that hardly took any time. Although I suppose we did skip the drying time.
Well, yeah, we did skip some of the drying time. I mean, the tag that I sprayed initially is not quite dry, but it's almost dry.
Yeah. So you do a whole production line if you're going to do them.
If you want to do multiple, yeah, for sure. But like if you're just doing a card front or something, it probably takes 15 minutes out of your day.
Yeah.
If you're drying something while you're doing something else.
Yeah. I'm just one of those persons, if I'm going to get sprays out, I'd sort of like to do a whole production line and do a whole bunch of backgrounds at one time so I can just grab them later.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, I do that with definitely with the sprays, because then you just make one mess.
Yep, exactly.
And just clean that up at the end.
Yes.
Until you forget that you're going to do something else, and then you make more mess.
Yes, okay. A desk with more stuff.
Yeah, well, you know. So that's that one. And then so for the next tag, what I thought we would do is just playing with some of Dina Wakley's gloss sprays.
Ooh.
Now, these are acrylic paint, And as you can see, it's got a bit of a shine to it. That's her gilt, the colour gilt, which is a bit of a goldeny colour. So what I did to start with is I stamped one of the Ledger Girls. We've used the stamp set collaged girls onto some regular tissue paper. I think I got it out of a shirt that I bought from a hubby.
Okay.
Always keep your tissue paper. It is
recycle.
The best thing you can do. And then we're using the phrase, "We rise by lifting others," from the Everyone is Welcome stamp set, also by Dina.
Okay.
Pop them aside. So I stamped them on my tissue paper. Now also, so Dina sells collage paper with writing and whatnot. But if you don't have that, or you've already got plenty of stamps with the writing on it, just again, pull out your tissue paper, stamp it on, all good to go.
And what stamp pad did you use to stamp your lady with?
I've just used an archival ink pad, so just so that it doesn't run. I mean, you could use the Stays On as well, but you want something that's not going to be water reactive, so I wouldn't recommend using a distress ink or anything like that. Because when you do stick down your tissue paper, you would like the image to stay how it is.
Yes. Okay.
Preferably. Now, I think you see underneath here, I've put the word collage paper.
Yeah.
Now, there's two different ways that we can stick that down. First way is just using your regular glue stick. And then the second way, here I've used the gloss spray. And once it's wet, I've just sat the paper down on top of it, and it glues itself.
Oh, okay.
So it's much of a muchness how you want to do it. Okay. So we might just use the spray to stick it down. So I'll get my trusty pizza box back. Now, as you can hear, these sprays have the ball bearings in it.
Okay.
At the bottom here, you can see how it's a little bit white.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've shook them up enough, or shaken, whatever the word is, to get rid of the white from the bottom, so that you know that all the colour is mixed well.
Okay.
And I will just do tonight. Alrighty. So, again, these are the ones probably more so that you want to make sure you wipe the tops, because they do clog quite easily.
Okay.
And they do start spraying in weird angles.
Okay.
And sometimes you accidentally spray yourself.
That'd be me. Is there an easy way to clean them then?
Like just with your paper towel, I just wipe off the nozzle each time.
Yeah. What happens if they do get clogged though? Can you just put them in warm water?
Now, if they do get clogged, there's some people say that you can put them in like a hot water, like pull the cap off. I haven't really found this overly successful, and then it sort of becomes less of a spray and more of a using it to pour over your project.
Okay.
So it can be a little frustrating when they clog.
Yeah.
They're either not going to work, or you can salvage them, but it takes a little bit of effort.
Doesn't Tim Holtz sell some replacement spray nozzles or somebody?
He does. I think Ranger itself sells them.
Okay, so yeah.
And you can replace the nozzles.
Yeah, okay.
And also, like, if, for example, this one stopped spraying, once you undo it and it doesn't spray from the spray part, it'll come out in clops on the bottom.
Yeah.
But this one actually sprays, so it won't work like that.
Yeah.
You get big droplets.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. So there I've used the Rouge, Ruby and Gilt.
Yeah, lovely.
And they mix really well. Like, you can obviously put one colour at a time and dry between them, and then they won't mix. But I like the kind of the mixed effects. And I also found that when you're drying it with your heat tool, sometimes it just adds a bit of extra texture into it. As you can see, the little spots are appearing.
A little bit reactive with the heat, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, not massively, but I kind of like the effect that it gives it. So
I just like that that it acts like the glue to hold the tissue paper down.
Yeah, it's really handy though. Yeah. And like I said, less glue, no worries. If you can't find your glue stick or your tiny thing, just use your paint. Like all paints I've found are quite good at sticking things down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So,
hint for the day, ladies.
Yeah, that's right. Use paint, not glue, if you can't find it. So from there, what I did is I thought we would just discuss the Stencil and Masks idea. Now, a lot of places, and Dina included, have these Stenciler Masks that she's brought out. I can show you the middle bits in a tick. But also you can use things like your chipboard, or if you do a die cut of a particular shape, and use that as a stencil if you don't have a lot of stencils or there's something in particular that you want. Because I'm all for, use what you have.
Yeah, definitely.
So with this one, you can see that I've used the chipboard and I've sprayed over the top for that.
Yes.
And you can probably, I can't see, I'm not sure if you can quite pick it up on the camera, that it's got that. But what we'll do in addition is we'll use the mask, because I quite like this mask. Now, another top tip is if you're using a mask on a full page and you own, like we're going to use this one here, and you only want that particular one, get out your trusty bit of paper.
Yeah.
And then, just mask, like cover the other bit.
Yep.
And also, bit of dog hair with that. If you don't want the straight edge showing, just get either another bit of paper or a bit of paper towel, whatever you got lying around, and you sit it over the top. And that way you're not going to get that really hard edge either.
Okay, yeah, I get.
So
again, great tip.
Always handy. Yeah, you learn by doing, I feel. So, or finding out these things. So I'll just get my little bit of spray paper here. Hold that there. And we're going to use the Gloss Spray Night. This is another really nice colour, nice and dark. Now, also, sometimes your tag does get a bit bendy, so you can either straighten it out beforehand, or you can just hold it down and spray on your fingers. So, again, it's all part of the mess, really.
The joy.
Yeah. We'll get rid of that. So we'll pull up our stencil.
Oh, look.
And then we've got our flower stencil or leaf.
It's a gloss, yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's and it does stay glossy when it's dry as well. Like this is a tag we just did. We just sprayed it. It's almost dried by itself.
Okay.
And yeah, you can see, other than the goldy colour, it is still a bit glossy.
Yeah. So you'd really want to keep that flat while you were drying, because you gave it quite a good spritz with the bottle.
I did give it a bit of extra spritz. And then, use your stencil on an extra bit of paper somewhere and flip it over, and you get another
imprint.
Extra use for your stencil. Yeah. Now with the gloss sprays, if they do dry on your stencil, it's not the end of the world. You can get it off with a bit of elbow grease.
Elbow grease, that. So, sorry, Susie, you've asked if we can hold that lower, please. I'm not quite sure what that refers to. So hopefully you can see the tag in full now, because that's centre of the page. So,
sorry.
No, that's all right. Just if there's something else, Susie, let me know.
Can you see that okay?
Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right, so I've done that. And this is the one that I dried earlier. I did it exactly the same way.
Yep.
And as you can see, the red is really glossy there.
Okay. The other tag. So have you got the other tags close? Susie just said the other tag, so I'm not quite sure which one.
Oh, the pre one? If I sit them all next to each other.
Yeah. So that's the progression, really, isn't it? So.
Yeah, well, and that's the other bit, the first bit.
Okay. Thank you. Right, so where are we up to now? So we've got...
And then for the rest of it, basically, we'll use the dried one. Now, with your tissue paper, if you wanted to sort of melt into the background, I'd recommend you use your gel medium, and you gel medium the backside, stick it down, and then gel medium over the top. And it's going to sink into the background a little better, and you're not going to see so much of the white around the edges and stuff. You'll just see the image.
Right.
But for this particular tag, I liked the white edges.
Yes. So
once again, let's move these out up a bit.
Yep.
trusty glue stick. I use this for scrapbooking and everything. I glue my photos down, glue all the things down.
I just love how when it comes out blue, but it dries clear. So
yeah, very handy. So I particularly like this stamp because I believe it's supposed to say nurse, and I am one. So bias, bit of bias there. And then with the last bit, we rise by lifting others. Once again, now be careful when you unscrew the lids from things so that you don't knock over your container, because I've done that. And then just get the stick, go around the edges a bit. It's only subtle, unless you get your fingers all in it, and then it's not so subtle.
And then rather than an edge.
Yeah. There we do that.
Yes, well, and I can just give a shout out to all the nurses out there. Thank you for helping keep us all safe and for the work you all do.
Oh, thank you. I think nurses are amazing, as are a lot of other people that are essential service that don't get enough recognition.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Now, with that one, we're just going to whack it on the tag here. And my other favourite thing that I really love about Dina Wakley is she's a bit no fuss like myself. So we get our fancy tiny stapler, staple it on, adds to the texture, and that's another tag done. All cut in front,
so you can see us all diving into our offices and the husband's offices and the school stationery supplies just to grab the staplers out there, can't you?
Yeah, like seriously, if you maybe want to do some speed tags or, just for something different, it just adds a different element, really.
It does. Great idea. Oh, we're 3 from 3 so far.
So that is that tag.
And again, lovely and quick. So
yeah. So as I said, I like to practice techniques on tags. They're not super intimidating. They're just a small bit of card. If you wreck it, oh well, it doesn't really matter. They're a small bit of card.
And sometimes you can repurpose them, because I've done that before, where you've had this bit that didn't do what you wanted to do at that moment, but then, a week or a month or whatever, you think, hang on, that would go with this project that I'm now working on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And resurrect it.
Absolutely. And then say, for example, I don't want the whole tag, or I just want a small collage bit. Collage fodder away. Just tear it up and whack it in somewhere else.
Or do a die cut with it. Letters.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you've already got those pretty colours all ready to go.
Yeah. So options, ladies.
Absolutely.
And any
I
gentlemen
always
out
love a good option. Yeah. All right. And then for our lucky last tag, this one I did a lot of, this is what I prepared earlier, but this one was inspired by, the technique itself was inspired by something I saw on, I think it was a Tim Holtz tutorial last year. Pardon me. But I do love Dina Wakley and her quirkiness.
Yes.
So that's why I chose this particular stamp. Pardon me. So for this tag, again, another great one just to pop on the front of a card. If you've got, say, a red card or something, whack it on the top.
Yeah.
Job done.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, I've used the stamp from Hats Off to Christmas, so this one.
Oh, okay.
And
what are the top ones? I can only see the bottom two.
Oh, quilting.
Yep, okay.
Variety. Yep.
A couple of hexagons.
And then, and the hexagons. And then the other one is a bit of an older stamp called Elf Improvement Class. But
I'm going to have to get that for the sayings.
Yes.
They're perfect. So you've got all those available in your shop?
Yep, they're all available in the shop. And until Monday, we're going to have a 10% off all of our stamps in store by Dylusions, Tim Holtz, and Dina Wakley.
Oh, excellent.
But I'll remind you again of those at the end if you like.
Please. And that embossing folder you used before too, the typewritten numbers, that's in the shop as well?
Available, as well as they've got a few different options which are really neat. There's a brickwork one, cobblestones, like a woven, a bit like the raffia stuff.
So you've got a whole range of them, so that's excellent.
Yeah, the woven variety.
Oh yes, look at that.
Yeah. And they're just so beautiful with way that they emboss.
Wow.
So yeah, all of that is available. All the products that we use are all available in store at the moment.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
So lucky last tag. Oh, I lied. The only thing we don't have available is the stamp platform because that is no longer available.
Ah, yes,
anywhere.
I recognise that one.
Yes. But it's all I have. So first of all, what you do is you choose the stamp that you want. And like I said, I chose the lady with the head. And you put it on your stamp platform. Now, so I'm sure everyone who's got one understands how to use them, but make sure it's in the corner. Have your stamp, so you've stamped it. Don't take your stamp off your stamp press platform, buddy, whatever it is that you're using. Mach 1 eyeball.
Okay.
And then from there, what we're going to do is that we paint over the top. So I've got the background tag ready to go.
Yep.
And that's I've just used that as my paint off piece. Now I thought I won't bore you with the whole painting of the entire thing. I'll just finish off the red color. So as you can see on the finished one here, so this is all dry, ready to go for the next step.
Yep.
You can't really see the lines, and it doesn't really have to be perfect painting. And this way, you've painted over the top of the numbers and whatnot.
Still shows through.
And that's okay. So I've used Dylusions paints, just the regular ones. Now these we're also having a special on at $5 each, including the shimmer paint, so at the $5.
Okay.
So that's one of the show specials that we got. And they come in such beautiful colours. I really love the vibrant colours. I'm a bit of a sucker for these. And they make great, in your journals, if you've got your brayer and just brayering the colours away, because you don't need to use a lot of it.
Yes.
Now, these also have a ball bearing. I make sure you do shake these ones well, because otherwise, if you just pour it out without shaking, it's very runny.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
really
with this,
well. Yep.
Yeah, you really do. With this project, because it didn't really need a lot of paint, I just take it straight from the top of the bottle. It was a lot easier than I did try it a couple of ways. I did pour it out onto my mat, and then I found that I just wasted too much. So just a little bit out of the bottle.
Hey, look, if your paintbrush fits.
Yeah, that's it. And this is just a cheapy paintbrush from IKEA, I think.
Okay.
So, like I said, you don't have to use the fancy stuff all of the times. If you can't afford it, that's really not a drama. Use what you can.
Yeah. Now, we have some disappointment amongst our watchers because apparently my Typewriter folder is sold out.
Oh, no.
So will you be getting some more in, do you think?
Yes, we have some on back order. Due to all of the things that are happening all over the world, unfortunately, it is taking a bit longer than we all would like.
Yes.
But I have got them on order.
Okay.
So apologies for anyone that wanted them and weren't able to get those ones.
They'll be coming at some.
I do highly recommend the brickwork if that one is still available as an alternate, because it is also very good.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I just got my paint, painted over the top, and like I said, it doesn't really matter how dark it goes over the things, and I've just paint off on your tag.
Waste not, want not.
That's right. So that way you've got, it sort of just adds a bit to your background of your tag. See on there. Now, the last step for this particular thing is you get back to your stamp press thing. Move things over a bit. Running out of room on my desk.
Oh, hold it on. It happens every time.
Sorry, Mother.
I'll have a big clean up one day and find all the things I've lost.
Oh, I do that regularly and I still don't find anything really.
Oh, so there's no reason for me to clean up my desk. Okay.
Oh, well, probably. You might find something. So from here, and I'm apologise if this is a little bit out of shot, I get my archival ink. I've just used a small one. I know it's a bigger stamp, but it is easier to stamp on these things. So you stamp it up. And I'm going to have to stand up for this because I'm uncoordinated otherwise.
Sharon, you're telling me to clean my desk?
Look, you might find something you didn't realise you had.
There's plenty of that hiding in there. Oh, so you brought the... Yes, beautiful.
And as you can see, by stamping back over the top, it just gives that clear crisp image again.
Brilliant.
But yeah, and it's really it's nicely coloured, however you want to colour it.
Oh, that's excellent.
And yeah, so it makes painting, like colouring stamps, so much easier doing it that way.
It's a great idea. So.
Yeah, so I thought, that goes all right, eh? Yeah, and then from there I've just fussy cut around the stamp.
Oh no, not the fussy cutting.
I know. Look, it's a catch-22.
That looks like it's actually quite easy to cut, I think.
It's not terribly difficult to cut that one.
Yeah. I got the curved nail scissors just from Priceline or whatever, and so I can get into the corners with those.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you just fussy cut it out, whack it on
fussy
the tag.
Cut it out, pop it on your tag, and then I did have the saying somewhere. Run away. I used a different saying, but that's okay.
Oh no, that's okay.
It's somewhere on my desk.
See?
Yep, I've lost it already. 100% lost.
Well, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'll give you a second to turn your camera around and we can tell everybody about the specials again.
If you don't mind.
Oh, hang on. Yep.
Sorry. So things, sometimes people wonder what you do with your tags.
Lift the book up a little. Yep, thanks.
Yep. So I popped them in my art journal and added a background for that one. But in particular, you can use them as like a little tip in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
If you don't want to just use them on your cards, and then this one, I also use card front sizes as technique practice, and then just add extra to put in your journal.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So just some little ideas on how else to use it.
Terrific. Thank you. Okay, well, if you'd like to turn your camera around.
Yep. No worries.
Wasn't that brilliant? Now, I'm afraid I've been so excited I've asked too many questions and distracted us. So, okay. All right, so I think here we are. Yep. Hi, Fiona. Thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. So,
no worries. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And I hope
to run through those specials again quickly. So you were 20% off the stamps?
No, 10% off all of the Dina Wakley, Dylusions and Tim Holtz stamps, as well as the remainder of our AALL stamps. So there's not too many of those ones left. As well as $5 Diane Reevely of Dylusions paints, including the shimmer paints.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. And when we're out of lockdown and I have to go and visit the in-laws, I'll be passing through Wagga. I'll give you a call.
And we do ship everywhere, including international. So, yeah, and always send us a message if you've got any questions. We're always happy to help.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Fiona. It's been an absolute joy.
Thank you, Tamara.
Okay, then. Bye.
Great. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us for that absolutely brilliant demonstration. Fiona did a fabulous job, and I just loved all of those tags. So I need to wrap it up quickly. Thank you for joining us today. There'll be some more demonstrations coming up shortly, so don't go too far away. Go and get yourself a coffee and have a continual crafty afternoon. Thank you for joining us.